This ain't your ordinary football show. It's the Old Dominion Football Show with Bruce Rader and Coach Bobby Wilder. Brought to you by Priority Automotive.
3 non-conference games are in the bag. 3 wins as the 5th-ranked Monarchs have outscored Duquesne, Hampton, and Campbell by a score of 172-44. But now the real games begin. The CAA schedule beginning tomorrow with New Hampshire and the Defensive Player of the Year, Matt Evans. What happens now? Let's find out. It's time for the Old Dominion Football Show. I'm Bruce Rader along with Coach Bobby Wilder. And tomorrow at noon, things get a little tougher, Coach, when you take on New Hampshire, a team well coached that can score and play tough defense. After 3 pretty easy opponents, are the Monarchs ready?
Yeah, I think we're ready, Bruce. We're excited to play this game. We know it's the start of the conference. We know about New Hampshire. This team's been to the playoffs 8 straight years, which is the longest streak in the country of any FCS program. And when you talk about the programs in our league, like James Madison and other schools, the longest streak's in Durham, New Hampshire. So we know it's a good opponent. We know it's the first CAA game, and we're excited to play it.
All right, Coach, I don't want to dwell on that Campbell game. You won 70-14. You scored on your first 4 drives. The defense played well, but what do you learn from a game like that?
Well, the biggest thing I took away from it, Bruce, is we can be explosive as a team when all 3 units work together. And what I mean by that is we started the game out, we scored on our first 4 offensive possessions. We executed a fake punt, because remember, we got stopped on our first drive at 4th and 6. Then our defense had 3 consecutive 3-and-outs. So we were up 28-0 in the first 10 minutes, and all 3 units were playing together, and we're going to need that this week versus New Hampshire.
All right, Coach, so where are we now? Let's start with your quarterback, Taylor Heineke. Once again, the National Player of the Week, 486 yards, 7 touchdowns against Campbell. You are second, or he is, I guess, second in the nation.
Right.
Have you ever coached a player like this?
I've coached some very good players in the 25 years, guys that have gone on and played in the NFL, Bruce. And what grabs me about Taylor, the reason he is so special is he's very productive with the ball, as we all know. We see how many yards he gets passing and running, but he also understands the importance of moving the chains on offense. He understands that he's got to run the ball at times to make us successful, and that's why he's one of the best I've had the privilege to be around.
All right, let's stay with Tyler for a minute now. He's starting to remind me of RG3 of the Redskins there. He's been running the ball and running well.
Right.
I think averaging about 10 carries a game.
You're right.
Sort of just like Robert Griffin III with the Redskins.
Right.
But, Coach, you can't let this guy run and get hurt.
We're very well aware of that, and Taylor does a nice job with that, Bruce. We talk to him a lot about when he runs hash numbers sideline, and what we mean by that is get to the hash as quick as you can, then get to the numbers, then get to the sideline. And you'll notice when he runs, Bruce, if he can't go hash numbers sideline and he's surrounded, he slides. He goes feet first and slides, and that way the officials will protect him. Other players don't hit him. So he's very well aware that he's got to be smart with the ball and he can't take extra hits.
Do you hold your breath when he takes off?
Not at all, because he's very smart about it and he does what he's told.
All right. One more question about the offense. After these first 3 games, any pleasant surprises, either, say, individually or position-wise?
Yeah, a really good question, Bruce. What surprised me the most is how unselfish we have been as an offense. We've had 11 different guys catch passes. We've had 9 different guys run with the ball. So there's 20 different opportunities that we've had running the ball and catching the ball, and you don't see that a lot in this day and age in college. You see a leading receiver.
And your running backs are catching the ball.
You're right. The running backs, Bruce, last week, 4 catches, 178 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So we're catching and running it. We're being very unselfish, which is going to be important as we continue to progress.
New Hampshire comes to SB Ballard Stadium tomorrow, the 18th ranked team in the nation. The Wildcats ran for over 300 yards and scored 5 touchdowns on offense. How happy are you with the play of your defense?
I've been very excited with the play of our defense so far, Bruce, and I understand that we have not played the type of teams we're about to play, but all due respect to our first 3 opponents, our defense has really been dominant, Bruce. They've only allowed 1 touchdown drive in each of the 3 games. So we look at all the drives, there's only been 1. Now, we know this is a different opponent this week. This is a team that ran for over 300 yards last week. It's very consistent, but I could not be more pleased with the progress we've made in defending the pass, which last year we were 104th in the nation, and our scoring defense, Bruce. Again, 1 touchdown a game, and this is a defense that gave up 28 points a game last year, so very pleased with the start.
All right, we're going to talk more about New Hampshire in a moment, but let's go back to the Old Dominion offense. The passing game has been superb, but as good as Taylor Heineke, well, he still has to throw to guys that will catch the ball, and one player making his fair share of receptions is sophomore Blair Roberts, who spent some time this week with Chris Reckling.
Old Dominion quarterback Taylor Heineke had a record-setting performance last weekend against Campbell, but he was not alone. Sophomore receiver Blair Roberts hooked up with Heineke for an ODU record 3 touchdowns.
It's a pretty great accomplishment. I was very happy to do it, and Taylor Heineke is a great quarterback, and to be a part of this is it's phenomenal. I'm happy to be here.
Roberts is just one of the many weapons Heineke has around him. Roberts says competition is fierce on the Monarchs sideline.
Competition is tougher, and you got to focus more and watch a lot of film to know your opponent. You got to study your opponent more in order to be good, honestly, to go out there and win. We got a lot of veteran guys that are pretty good. Larry Pinkard, Antonio Vaughn, and Nick Mayers. They definitely help the younger players, with learning their role and assignments and stuff like that. So I think we got a great group, and we're pretty tight too also.
Roberts came to Norfolk from Rochester, New York. He's a big fan of colorful socks. Says he has a whole drawer full, with pink being his favorite. Roberts only received interest from Temple and Albany before taking a chance with the Monarchs.
I didn't know too much about Old Dominion until I got here.
And now what are your thoughts?
Great campus. The environment is great. People here are very cool. They're very interactive with the program, and very nice to be around.
In Norfolk, Chris Reckling for the Old Dominion Football Show.
Thanks, Chris. Coach, I don't know about the sock collection, but seriously, Blair Roberts paying dividends this season.
He is, and he burst on the scene last year, Bruce, as a true freshman. His first opportunity came at Georgia State. We blocked a punt. He returned it 40 yards for a touchdown, but now he's our leading receiver. I think he's one of the best receivers in the conference. You can tell, very quiet, very humble individual.
Great receiver, too. Still to come, we talked about Matt Evans. Linebacker Craig Wilkins is as good as they get in the nation this year, but is he tough enough to make it through the 1-minute drill with Ali Lucia? And you fans get your say during the Coach's Corner. And what are Coach Wilder's priorities of the game for tomorrow's showdown with nationally ranked New Hampshire? The Old Dominion Football Show continues in 30 seconds. Two of the best linebackers in the country will be on the field tomorrow. Of course, my favorite is Old Dominion's Craig Wilkins, but I want to know how he handles the 1-minute drill.
Your last 1-minute drill. Are you nervous?
Yes, very nervous. The last one. Let's make it good.
Are you sad?
Very sad.
Where would you go after a post-game meal, and where would you tell them to go?
I would probably go to Monarch Grill. Oh my God, my favorite buffalo chicken sliders with the ranch and the bacon. Oh, it tastes so good.
If you could date any celebrity, who?
Oh, I think my girlfriend gonna be happy about this. I guess I'll say Gabrielle Union.
You got your boyfriend glowering, standing over you guys. Yeah.
No, do it. Do it now. Now kiss him now. Kiss him. Do it.
If you weren't playing football, what sport would you be playing?
I'll probably be playing soccer. I mean, I played soccer in elementary school. I actually got an MVP trophy from my 6th grade year, so I think I was pretty good at soccer.
If you could play any role in a movie, which one?
I like to play Booby Miles in Friday Night Lights. I don't know why. I mean, I'm not arrogant or anything like that. It just seemed like a fun, cool role to play. See you, Tough Monarch.
Coach, you got to be glad to have a player like Craig Wilkins on your defense.
Oh, excellent student, Bruce, and physically, people probably noticed looking at him there. He's 6'2", 235 pounds, runs a 4.6 40-inch vertical leap. He is an NFL prospect. The scouts love him.
All right, we'll see how he does tomorrow. Still to come, a final look ahead at tomorrow's sold-out game against New Hampshire and the priorities of the game next on the Old Dominion Football Show, brought to you by Priority Automotive. Welcome back to the Old Dominion Football Show, and it's time to turn it over to the fans. It's time for the Coach's Corner. Our first question is from Vince in Virginia Beach. Coach Wilder, would you ever consider redshirting Taylor Heineke next season so he could be around for the first year as a bowl-eligible member of Conference USA?
We would not consider redshirting Taylor Heineke, and Taylor and I talked about this shortly after the announcement we were going to Conference USA, and we both felt like it would send the wrong message to all the players in our program, as if we were giving up on 2013 or 14, and to our fans. But good question, Vince. Thank you.
Next question for Brent in Chesapeake. Coach, are you upset or are you glad that you never had a chance to play your old school Maine while in the CAA?
Definitely not upset, but I'm definitely glad we're not playing them in November in Orono, Maine. Like James Madison has to go there in November, and Georgia State, Bruce, last game of the year, November 17th. It'll be cold. Glad I don't have to take these Monarchs to Orono, Maine. Thanks for the question.
That's why you and your family moved down here. And finally, Keith from Portsmouth wants to know, is the officiating in the NFL with the replacement refs as bad as everyone is trying to make it out?
I personally don't think it's that bad. Remember now, we have replay for almost every situation. What you're seeing is there's a little bit more of a delay in the games, because not unlike a substitute teacher in school, the kids in the classroom know they can take a little extra advantage, and that's what's happening with some of the players. But we haven't seen a game decided by the officiating. Good question.
Well, there's always Sunday. All right, Coach, time for the priorities of the game for tomorrow afternoon's matchup against New Hampshire.
Yeah, number one, we've got to win the battle at the line of scrimmage. New Hampshire's very good in the offensive and defensive line, so we've got to do an excellent job up front with our big guys, O-line and D-line. Number two, create field position with our special teams. That's going to be critical, whether it's the return units or our kickoff or punt coverage. We've got to do a great job with field position. And number three, control New Hampshire's running game. They're going to come into this game, try to establish the run, try to hold on to the football. We've got to do a great job against their run game.
Coach, I know you have a lot of respect for Coach Sean McDonald from New Hampshire. What is New Hampshire going to throw at you tomorrow?
I think the number one thing Sean will do in this game, Bruce, is he'll try to control the football. He'll try to keep the ball away from our offense. It's number one in the nation right now in yards and points, and they'll commit to the run. They'll stick to it. They'll run the play action off of it. It's going to be critical, Bruce, that we're able to get the football back and have it on offense.
And their linebacker, Evans, an All-American, best player in the entire country last year. Is he the real deal?
He is. He's fun to watch. 165 tackles last year. Buck Buchanan Award winner is the best linebacker, and he's someone we'll be very aware of on offense.
Well, you know what? That's why people come to the games. Not only to see their favorite team, but also to see excellent
great
players that could be playing in the NFL
that's
in
a
a
good
year or
point.
two. Okay, kickoff is at noon. Coach, starting tomorrow, you need the 12th Monarch to be
it's a
in
blue
their
out.
seats early.
Blue out. Be there early.
And pay attention. And like
right.
you said, wear blue. You want everybody to wear blue?
Wear blue tomorrow. It's a blue out. Be there early, as Coach Rader said. It's critical.
A little more serious going into this game, knowing that it's the conference schedule. You may not have as easy a time as you did in the first three.
Yeah, very much so. We started out last year, Bruce, 0-1. We lost at Delaware, so we'd like to get out the gate 1-0 tomorrow.
All right, if you don't have a ticket, the game will be live on Comcast Sports Net. Enjoy the game, everybody. Don't forget, it's an early start, noon. Wear blue. Good night, everybody.